Hey everyone, my name is Kenya and I'm from Sephora San Francisco. So today I'm going to show you my remix on a polished look. Let's get started. All right, so I've already prepped my skin with toning and moisturizing, and now my skin is ready to go. So my first step, I'm gonna use the Anastasia brow gel. I utilize this to lay my brow hairs down to get a smooth surface. So after I have my brow gel on, I like to go in shaping the brows. Mercier Secret Camouflage number SC7. I like to go in with the number 15 brush from Anastasia. It really helps me to get a really good base down to shape the upper area of the brow. I just go right under, gliding through, and then go ahead and just bring it a little bit down into the actual eyelid. The next step is adding a little bit more brow definition. I'm utilizing the Stila medium colored brow marker. For work, I really like a natural brow, and it's something I can build up after. Lightly shading, making it look like natural brow hairs. This brush is my life. This is the number 57 Pro Collection Sephora brush. It's great for just really blending out. My next step for me after blending out the underbrow is going to be utilizing a little bit of foundation. The NARS Luminous Weightless Foundation is in the color New Orleans. It's a little bit orangey, has a little bit of that red in there, so it really helps conceal some of those blue and purple undertones I have around my face. I go ahead and I blend it out using my favorite brush, as I already mentioned before, the number 57. I'm doing a patting motion, and the reason why is I still want a little bit of that coverage, and I don't want to move it around. I just want it to stay in place in the exact area that I put it in. So our next step is I actually like to contour my nose personally, and I like to start with highlighting. I'm utilizing the Dior Star Skin Concealer and the number 4. I like to utilize it because it's golden in its color. The applicator is like that deer foot, so it's easy to place on. I just do a light motion down my nose. I do a little star because I want to make sure I'm balancing it all out. Now I'm going to go into contour. The Cover FX Contour Kit. I use the deepest color, number 4. I'm utilizing it with my Kat Von D brush. Less is more. Starting at the brow, drawing it down. Want to make sure I don't have a crooked nose. I like to cut it off. This is really just something I do personally because I love to have a little button nose. And I cross it in the middle just so it creates more of that accent. I tend to find in pictures that my nose can look a little flat. So making sure my highlighter is just right and super straight. And then I'll go ahead and pat down. I'm going to go in with my finger if I have any excess and really make sure I get it off. You don't want to have too much texture, so making sure you didn't use too much concealer like I did. So I'm just perfecting it with my hands. So what I like to do is really allow my contour to kind of grab on and wait a little bit. So I'll go in with my foundation next. I'm utilizing the Dior Air in the number 50. This foundation is super lightweight, luminous, and is really gonna make it look just like natural skin. The great thing about utilizing the Beauty Blender is you're gonna be able to get a lot of coverage in the areas you want coverage in, and then go ahead and spread it out. I then go in with my Lancôme Tint Idole 24-Hour Foundation. I like to use the color 500 in Suede W. I use this foundation on my nose because it's a long wear foundation and it's 24-hour wear. It also has aquamarine pigments in it, so it's gonna be okay if I sweat. In addition to that, it has more coverage. So a great tip that I give to all of you out there is utilizing maybe a matte foundation with more coverage on the nose is going to ensure that you don't have any redness or discoloration peeking through. The next step is my number 55 brush. I tend to be heavy-handed, I'll be honest. So going in with the number 55 brush and its bristles are just so amazing. It just airbrushes everything out. Blending after is going to ensure I didn't use too much product. And if I did, guess what? That's my go-to. It's going to take it right off. So here's the fun part. The Bright Future Sephora Collection Gel Serum Concealer is life. The shade number is number 15. It has that perfect golden color with a little bit of red undertone. I love a more dewy concealer because it really mimics the skin-like finish. And with this concealer, not only does it have great coverage, but it also has a buoyancy in it that just bounces light right off it. And I go back in with, guess what? My hero, number 57 Pro Collection brush, blend it out, and pat again with that beauty blender. Let's get these eyes started. So I'm going to start by using the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. I love using this primer because it has like a white and pink undertone. I use the flat Sephora Collection Pro Brush. That just ensures I have the right amount. After going in and placing the primer, I like to use my hand to warm it up, just to ensure that it's staying in place and ready to grab onto some eyeshadow. Kat Von D's Shade and Light eye palette is amazing. I'm using the shade brush number 18 from Sephora Collection Pro. I'm taking the color Succubus and just patting it right in my creases. The next brush I'm going to use is the number 16 Sephora Collection Domed Crease Brush. This is really going to allow the product to be blended out but stay in place. Now I want to add a little bit more depth. So I'm going in and I'm using the color Citry. I really don't know how to say it. Thanks, Kat Von D. Amazing products, but I can't pronounce this word. So I'm using my number 18 brush again and just patting right over my red transition color. One of my favorite brushes from Sephora Collection is the number 10 blending brush. It's really fluffy. It's a great way to really add that seamless transition. And I start in the outer corner and blend inward and upwards. So now I'm going to use the Chocolate Bar by Too Faced. The color I'm using is Amaretto. To me, utilizing more than one palette is huge. The importance is one palette may have more mattes and the other may have more shimmers or luminous colors for the lid. I'm just patting it on with my Sephora Collection Pro Small Brush Shadow number 15. It's getting right in my half moon portion of my eye and I can just pat instead of doing a lot of work. Next is one of my favorite eyeliners. I'm using the Lancôme Liquid Longwear Pencil in the color Black. With this Lancôme liquid pencil, it's so long wearing and stays in place. Give it about 90 seconds and it's staying all day. All right, so now it's time to set. I'm using the Makeup Forever HD Setting Powder. When I use the Sephora Collection Pro number 55 brush, I like to pat it lightly into my skin. There should be no white hue coming through. If you see any white coming through on your face from your setting powder, that means you've used entirely too much. I'm going to go in with the medium to tan highlight and contour kit from Anastasia. I'm going to start with the color 10K as my highlighter. The brush I'm using is Sephora Collection Pro Contour number 79. It's fluffy and has this teardrop shape, so it's going to get right perfectly under the contour shape of my eye. Less is more. Don't do too much highlight. You might look a little crazy. So let's get to contouring. Taking out that Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit again and using the color in Espresso. It has the perfect color for a shadow. Contouring really shouldn't have bronzing or luminosity. It's really about sculpting these cheeks. I'm starting about where my ear is, where my little edges are, and blending downward and into my cheek. I'll add just whatever's left over right into the bridge of my nose, ensuring that my nose doesn't appear flat. One of my favorite blushes is Urban Decay's Afterglow. It has this really rich red undertone to it, so I'm just going to use it very lightly with my Sephora Collection Pro number 79 brush. This brush is like a big crease brush, so it blends this red perfectly in between my highlight and contour. I'm going to go in with my Hakuhodo brush from Sephora Collection because I feel like I have just a little bit too much red. So patting it and pressing it into the skin with this bigger flat brush just ensures for that seamless polished look that we're going for today. All right, so this next step, I'm utilizing the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Blush Copper. It's a great way to add radiance and just pop that Afterglow blush by Urban Decay. Yes, you know I love this brush, my number 74. I'm just going in and blending it out. To ensure everything is blended nicely, I'm using the number 79 Pro Contour Brush by Sephora Collection. My go-to eyeliner for this look is going to be Kat Von D's liquid liner in the color Trooper. I love the brush tip. It allows me to get a super precise line as well as really having that artistic edge with it. So to create this cat eye, I'm really going to use short strokes starting from the inner eye and then placing out on the outer eye. All right, mascara. So today I'm going to use Dior Addicts It Lash. This mascara is amazing for getting those short strokes in between the lashes and creating a dynamic look. This mascara is all about lengthening and separation. I tend to use the sides of it to comb through the lash while using the very end of it to really define each tiny lash, especially on the bottoms. Lip liners are crucial. Today I'm going to use Urban Decay's lip liner, 24/7 lip liner might I add, in the color Blackmail. But before I do, I'm going to place any leftover foundation over my lips utilizing my beauty blender. I really want to make sure I have a little bit of that foundation on there just to blur out any color that's showing through my lip. When applying my lip liner, I like to start in the center of my Cupid's bow or your top lip. I create a nice little X shape, and that's really going to allow me to accentuate the fullness of my lip up top. I really loved a defined top lip. I feel like it just nods at old Hollywood, and it just accentuates the natural shape of my lips. This Urban Decay lip liner is amazing because it stays all day, and it's also water resistant. All right, let's fill in these lips. I'm going to use now Lolita 1 by Kat Von D. I know this is a big favorite. It's also one of my favorites too. The reason why I used the lip liner Blackmail from Urban Decay in the beginning is to really warm Lolita up. Lolita has this beautiful reddish brown undertone in it. So with someone of a deeper complexion like myself, I need just a little bit more of depth with my lips so it doesn't end up looking a little too nude. Any place where I feel like I need to fill in that the Kat Von D Lolita liquid lipstick applicator may be a little too big, I'll definitely go back in with the number 18 Sephora Collection Pro Brush and just perfect, because that's going to be able to get into the little areas that doe foot may not be able to reach. So if you're a lipstick fiend like I am, one lipstick is just not enough. I'm going back in with the Buxom Nude Lipstick Foundations in the color Undressed Pink. I'm going to go right in the middle of my lip just to pop it up a little bit. I'm going to drag it just down to the corners just enough so it can blend in with my Lolita that's under it. I'm pressing my lips together so I don't have to go back and do too much blending. Now I'm getting that perfect pout. So now that I'm looking pretty good, of course I want this makeup to stay all day. So I'm going to use Urban Decay's All Nighter Setting Spray. So this is my look. Hope you love it. All right, if you loved this look, hit that subscribe button. We really want to hear your feedback. I can't wait to see you in Sephora San Francisco. Bye.